sometimes like feeling so like robotic. Like by I think like the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're gonna do this, and like it just sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, you know, like it's not like normal at all. In my head right now, I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember, and that's it. It's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, you know. But yeah, I think that was kind of the hard part, is like conversing with them, and like when they'd kind of be like, oh, like we've only had 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you said 5 on the message.
Did someone say that to you?
Yeah. And obviously it just makes me feel so bad.
Do you think you should feel bad about that?
I guess when you've promised people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down.
But it's up to you, right? Like when you know.
Yeah.
Have you even?
Oh man, let's we'll cut it right there. So, so for folks out there, this is, what's this girl's name? All right, we'll just call her. Oh, her name is Lily Phillips. She's actually been trending for the last couple of days. And I know in a sea of like a lot of crazy stuff that's been happening, she actually broke through because she's an OF model. And she had intercourse with like over 100 men. And we just watched we just watched her just feel bad about her poor customer service skills. MC, thoughts?
Let's make this a little bit worse, because you said she smashed 100 dudes, but TMZ says it's 100 dudes in one day.
Oh,
so
let's yes, I buried the lead.
That I mean, they're both troubling to say the least. But again, now looking at it from my perspective, nah, I'm good. I've said from the beginning, women have more sex than men. I think that they try to hide some of the body counts that they have. Like they might erase somebody that they didn't care for. They might try to change consent later. They might scratch off one because it was a woman and not a man, or they'll like skip over one because it was a one night stand. At least she's claiming it.
Yeah.
But any guy with a brain is like, I'll mess around with you for a little bit, but even that has risk.
She went with 100 guys. Like, I mean, first question, let's say oh man, I know you're married, but you just gotta give me a hypothetical. Let's say would you rather be the first? I think most guys want to be the first guy, but I mean, if somebody put a gun to your head, like you gotta be the one other guy, would you still do it? Like,
I don't play them as Diddy games. I don't play them games. But gun to head, if you ain't number one, if you don't finish first, you finish last.
Yeah.
Because if you're not number one, you basically tasted everybody who was in there before you.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It's terrible. Also, I don't think she used any protection either. And at one point, so there's a longer interview, she actually was like telling the guy who's doing the interview, which he probably was one of the 100 guys, which is, I think is, I think he was one of the 100 guys, but he ain't gonna say it. But she was saying like, oh, my eye's irritated or something. He said, why's your eye irritated? Because all the baby formula in her eyes. Like, that's how bad it was with this chick. And
protein shake.
Yeah, watching the kids. The other crazy thing with this chick is that she has a goal to do 1,000 gentlemen callers in one day. And I think she'll get it though, as well too, because this is one of those situations where you see women just wanting to do what they want to do. And everyone else is, sitting here trying to protect her and shame her, blah, blah, blah. No, she wants to do this. She's proud of doing this. Her parents are proud, or maybe they're not proud, but her parents know she's doing this. And so the question becomes like, are we at that point in society where women have definitely gone off the deep end, or have they already gone off the deep end?
This chick is 23. Did you know that?
Yeah, man, she's young. Yeah,
Oh, she's cooked, man. Like, look, let me put my simp hat on real quick because we got to acknowledge the simps because we have a simp problem with men right now.
sure.
She's attractive enough where somebody will marry her,
Yeah,
or at least date her seriously.
yeah. A lot of guys
And
will take her.
that guy is not going to have any respect for himself. And truthfully, subconsciously, she's not going to respect him for laying because he doesn't lay down any boundaries or stand on anything.
Hmm.
Look, personally, she's in that phase right now where she's young and semi cute. So she thinks the world is hers. Women like this tend to be entitled and think that they can just have life in these big, huge doses. But life will catch up with her. She'll get older, her metabolism will slow down, she'll become less desirable, she'll have to lead with something besides her looks. And when this information leaks out, any guy with a brain, any high value man, any man with a brain, period, they're going to look at her and say, at best, you're going to be a side chick with me, just based on
Yeah,
her goal right here.
I agree with you on that. I just don't have faith in a lot of men. We got some other topics that are going to be talking about, and this is just more examples of how men might be just down bad because just to be 100 men, like who's signing up for that? Apparently, she didn't have a problem getting 100 guys in one day. And I think that's just kind of crazy though, because especially if these guys aren't using protection, this is just insane. Like you guys are like 2-3 minutes in, and you know you're ready, like on command. Like I just don't. I'm just blown away that many guys wanted to sign up for this, wanted to be a part of this. And there's still going to be some guy out there that would be like, yep, I can change her. I don't care about her past, blah, blah, blah. And, come on, body count. This is where that body count stuff kind of come back on me because I know I say a lot, a lot of times when it comes to body count.
Funny you said come back on me, but
Yeah,
please continue.
pause. But here's the thing with that though. This is somebody in the industry. This is somebody who, makes a living doing this stuff, and she's probably making a ton of money. And what I saw the most, it wasn't even from women. You would think women would call this out. Like women don't. This is the woman that's these types of OnlyFans chicks are the ones messing up for all the good women. They're the ones where women don't say anything. Women aren't shaming her, trying to make her feel bad because at some point, I mean, you can't be having just, these accomplishments. These are just terrible things for society. And it just messes it up for women thinking that, men are going to respect them, wholeheartedly. But we're getting to a point where, there may be some women, dating wise, they have done OnlyFans at some point in their life.
I tried to look up the monetary value of what she just did, and I'm getting mixed numbers. I'm getting anywhere from 10,000 to 43 million. So I know she didn't make 43 million from doing this. I
Sure.
think 10,000 might be more reasonable, but it's going to make her look silly. You took 100 pieces of meat, and it probably wasn't that very life changing in terms of your income. So you didn't get any benefits from it. None of these ninjas are taking care of you. You let them all hit raw. I'm going to assume that there was STD testing there, but
Yeah, sure.
I mean it is OF, but that doesn't mitigate the fact that I keep telling women, and y'all really got to peep game on this. You should be a mystery to other men. That and you being feminine are going to be your two strongest traits to
Mhm.
get a man of value to start paying attention to you. But unfortunately, a lot of feminists and a lot of these quote unquote independent women are going to see this woman and they think that she's being empowering.
Yeah,
Ironically, she would have been at the slut walk back in the day,
yeah,
but we've since learned that Amber Rose has discontinued the slut walk and seems to be moving in a different direction.
yeah. I think do women have a responsibility calling this type of behavior out? Because we know everyone's gonna call men out. Men are getting called out on every men, women, whoever has a voice, men are getting called out for it. But should women be calling this woman out?
The thing about the women of high moral character is they're usually the ones with the quietest voices. It, they should call her out, but they won't. A
Yeah.
lot of people are just going to look past this. Truthfully, a lot of people that of melanoid content probably don't even know who she is. But if this was somebody that everybody knew, nah, nobody would call her out. Just a couple of men in the chat, and then those men would get shamed for being for toxic masculinity, for telling her she's wrong for sleeping with 100 men in a day.
Yeah. You know, that reminds me of old girl, the Vixen, Superhead. Yeah, I remember she didn't get called out. She was she ended up getting married, actually, twice, I want to say.
Got married and became a millionaire selling a book, telling stories.
Yeah, industry stories. So yeah, if no one's shaming back then, because that was like kind of a big topic when it dropped. But nowadays, this is just nothing new. Like 100 guys. I mean, yeah, you would think this would have kind of went mainstream, but no one's. I mean, people are talking about it though, but it's all on the dark corners of like pretty much on like Twitter and some other creators. But it's only a matter of time for people to start like, yeah, I have an OF. I have an OF. I'm like, oh man.
So check this out. We just talked about Amber Rose. There's Brittany Renner. There's many other women who have escaped this lifestyle and are talking about how trash it is and how it destroys people. But again, the ones who are talking about this are generally the ones being ignored. She's just trying to get a bag, but she's going to learn later on in life that it really wasn't worth it. You've been better off just finding a good quality guy and just getting it out the mud together with him. But
yeah,
somebody will marry her, probably that guy that was interviewing her.
yeah.
You don't have to be ashamed of that. All right, whatever.
You know, there were some stories trending after that of men, or I don't think it was men. I think it was a woman that wrote the article about how the men took advantage of her, and she's out here crying about her poor customer service, about servicing 100 men. Like even she doesn't want to be seen as a victim or whatever the case is. Other people are going to make her into a victim, make her regret it 5-10 years down the line, and who knows if they'll try. I mean, I think she's Australian or British or something. She's not US.
She's British.
Yeah, British. So I mean, who knows what'll come down the pipeline when it comes to figuring out, like, can she remove consent, like you said earlier? That could be a thing of, like, I mean, I don't know, because over in Europe, they have some extreme woke policies. And so they probably could do something like this. I mean, it's hard to say, but in the US, we kind of have something like that where it's not removing consent, but if you say someone assaulted you 20, 30 years later, you can take them to court, as we're seeing that play out with some, notable figures.
She knows exactly what's coming down the pipeline. Protein shakes. That's her future. Hey, you made your choice.
Yeah.
Like the rest of us.
Indeed. All right. All right. We're going to go to the next topic.